Our roads are like, it's like Escape from New York, and everybody feels like Snake Plissken. You don't know if you're going to get from point A to point B without getting run over, run into, or have a SUV flip over in front of you.
You won't hear that on MSNBC.
The Biden-Harris administration rolled out the red carpet for millions of migrants. They didn't just ship them to Texas and New York. Thousands were deposited into small towns across the country, like Springfield, Ohio, that had a population of 60,000, until Kamala imported 15,000 Haitians who know nothing about our culture and come from the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Violent crime skyrocketed 142%. Car accidents spiked. A migrant in a minivan smashed into a school bus, injuring 20 and killing an 11-year-old boy. Trash started piling up in the streets. The town changed overnight.
This issue is not a Republican or Democratic issue. This is an American issue. This is an Ohio issue, and this is a Springfield issue.
How is it a Springfield issue? Did this issue exist before the arrival of 20,000 illegals? What responsibility do the people of Springfield bear in this situation? This is a Biden administration issue, plain and simple.
Schools are overcrowded. Our education system has went in the trash. Housing is another issue. The overcrowding in housing, my son had to give me his house and move to another house because I can't find housing.
Is there a cutoff point that, I mean, for the population here? Or, I mean, I feel like there should be a no vacancy sign right now, and people are still coming in.
There's even rumors that people's pets have gone missing.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
ABC says there's no evidence people's pets were eaten, but people are calling the cops, reporting Haitians are eating their geese.
I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand.
How many geese did they have?
They each had 1.
Now, the media won't play you that 911 call. The media won't investigate the story at all. Because if they did, they'd have to report on the dangerous migrant payload Kamala unleashed on Springfield.
It's like living in a dystopian nightmare. You hope you wake up and it's 2019 again, and then you realize it's 2024, and it's the same thing over and over again, day after day. What's happening is a disruption of the smaller neighborhoods, and it has never been a race issue. It's about color. It's not about color. It's about culture. Your once close-knit community has now been changed, and there are people in your neighborhood that you don't know, that don't speak your language, that live a different lifestyle from you, and it's going to cause some tension.
The people of Springfield are begging for help, and help's on the way, just not for them.
Of course, the Dems don't care about the ordinary folk. The illegals are their top priority. In New York City, migrants get debit cards with $1,000 per month coming out of your tax dollars.
I don't know of a single homeless Haitian in this town because they all got vouchers. But I can show you a whole bunch of people that have been displaced because I'm that guy. Rob, you know, for 25 years I've worked with the homeless in this community.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced he's sending more resources to the migrants to help them learn English, learn how to drive, and get vaccinated. Is Mike DeWine putting America first? Remember when DeSantis sent 50 migrants to Martha's Vineyard? Democrats called the National Guard and shipped them off to a military base. But Kamala Harris sends 20,000 migrants to a small Ohio town and they let it fester.
There's a place called Springfield, Ohio, that you've been reading about. 20,000 illegal Haitian immigrants have descended upon the town of 58,000 people, destroying their entire way of life. This was a beautiful community, and now it's horrible what's happened. On day one of my administration, I will stop this invasion. I will seal the border. I will end the harassed migrant flights. And I will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
That's what people want to hear. Americans are very generous people, but if you take and take and take, eventually even the most generous will get sick of it and say, enough.
Mark Sanders lives in Springfield, Ohio, and he joins us now. All right, so Mark, how was Springfield, Ohio, of all the towns in this great country, picked to receive 15,000 to 20,000 Haitian migrants?
Not really sure. I know that back a decade ago, a previous mayor and a local minister created a pipeline to repopulate Springfield after its dwindling population after one of our manufacturers downsized. And that was mainly people from Mexico. That pipeline existed, and when the influx began back in 2020 and 2021, they just utilized what already was there.
When he says a pipeline, I wonder what he means exactly. What is a pipeline? If anyone knows, leave it in the comments below.
And they've been coming ever since, not in the volumes that we've seen the last 2 years, but it's been a gradual increase.
So how
and the number right now, unfortunately, is closer to 30,000.
30,000. Okay. How has that changed your town, Springfield, with 30,000 Haitians living there now?
Well, number one is lifelong residents have been moved out of their homes that they've rented for decades. People who own their homes have accepted very high offers, and then they've been turned into basically dormitories.
And where is all this free-flowing money coming from? The costs must be enormous.
By landlords, both American and Haitian. There's a lot of greed on both sides of the fence. We have a temp service, temporary staffing service, that actually is probably employing about 95% of those that have arrived here that are working. Many aren't. Not everybody's working, and people will say that. Not everybody is. But the staffing service owns 63 homes. Those homes are used as dormitories. They shuttle the workers to and from their jobs so they know they go. He takes a portion of their check, charges them for transportation, and charges them for lodging.
So people are financially preying on these Haitians as they replace you. They've basically taken people living there, and now they're not able to live there anymore. What are we hearing about people's pets disappearing? You keep hearing that. Is that even true?
There's a lot of vicious rumors floating around. I will tell you that our geese, our duck population is nearly decimated in our 2 parks. There have been, well, you played the 911 call. The city manager of Springfield denied it existed, and I do appeal to him tonight on your show for a public apology to those that he told a non-truth to. There is a report, there is a 911 call, there was a witness, therefore there was an incident in my eyes. As far as the cats and dogs, I think that's a bit sensationalized. I won't say it hasn't occurred. I've heard from others it has, but nobody's ever given a infallible description of when, where, and who.
Yeah, we heard some rumor about some lady eating a cat in another county. She wasn't Haitian. It's just gotten crazy. People are saying you're an anti-immigrant city. How would you respond to that?
Nothing can be further from the truth. What we are is a city that only wants our safety, security, and sovereignty back. When you have obviously the incident that occurred a year ago, we've had total upheaval because of it. Our food pantries, they get stripped. Our clinics, which is Rocking Horse, is a federally funded clinic in town. Their budget was decimated. In Haitian, clinic means hospital. Our emergency rooms are overrun. Of course, nobody's being compensated.
This is clearly unsustainable. What is the federal government doing? Trying to destabilize our society? To what end? Where is the benefit?
Unless they've actually checked in with the health department and qualified for the Medicaid. Our roads are like, it's like Escape from New York, and everybody feels like Snake Plissken. You don't know if you're going to get from point A to point B without getting run over, run into, or have a SUV flip over in front of you. And again, the bad driving is multinational. I don't want to sound like it's only one group that's doing it, but I think that they're the most that's happening. I mean, they have between 4 and 6 wrecks a day, and probably over 50% of those are people without licenses, without insurance, and have no English skills.
That must be sending car insurance rates through the roof. Anything you want to tell Kamala Harris before we let you go?
I think Kamala is kind of like that spouse that cheats on you and says she'll stop when it's your anniversary. All the things she's promising to do, she can do now. She just chooses not to. She's not the one for the White House. She's not the one.
Blasphemy. To see Charlie Kirk wreck a clueless woke student on open borders, click here, and I will see you over there.